your helmet light pans up and hits this thing on the wall. It is your face, so you would know before anybody else. It's still like parts of the face are missing. Some of them have been opened up to like plug the head into certain bits and parts, but like that is a David model. Which one you do not know.
I'd like to see like the model of this, if this was David 1 or a much later date.
All of you watch as the sound of like as Kitchens reaches deep into the like chest of this David model and basically moves the inside back so that you can see the spinal column. And there on the spinal column, really close, Kitchens, you can shine your light on it, is the first David model. It is here pinned to the wall. You find like a stamp there, like a
seal.
A seal, basically, like pressed into the metal plate that is on his back. It dates pre-Wayland Yutani. It is Wayland's. This is his David.
This is the first synth. This is Wayland's synth.
100 years ago kind of deal. Maybe older.
That's Wayland before Yutani.
Okay. Okay, I agree with you.
Aliens. None of this needs to go back to civilization.
Arden, I don't have to sleep, but at what point do you go to sleep knowing that you are responsible for the death of almost 200 men and women, much like yourself? How will you sleep?
I will sleep on a pillow and snore very loud, because if one alien made it onto the ship and we tugged it back to a planet and then 2 billion people die to save 200, I'm gonna take that 200. I'm just saying.
That's clear. That this is
something
that
Jake
I can agree on.
To be fair,
are the only 3 survivors.
But for what it's worth, what separates men from machines or monsters is that they care about their kin. At some point, I can't be the only one that is considering someone outside of myself.
Okay, here's an alternative idea. Asteroid belt, tow it there, hide it amongst the rocks, and then we'll get some kind of a mobile unit of some kind where you can do these scans. Can we do that? Is that more realistic?
I can work with that. But for now, I think we have to make it back to Vince, who I believe is aligning himself currently with Barden. I believe they're operating on a lot of fears at the moment. And I don't know if I understand it entirely, but I am dealing with my own internal issues.
Yeah, I can imagine you're kind of having an existential crisis.
I would have to exist first. I'm simply operating.
Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. There were no technical difficulties.
Nope.
You saw nothing. We're back. It's been a minute. We've been gone for a hot minute, as some players here might say. But we're back. We're back for space. We're doing all kinds of things. If you like what you see here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is by joining us over on Patreon. A link for that right down below in the description. And while you're down there, join us in the Discord. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves 2 purposes. 1 is when that bar fills, Doc gets to do what the hell she wants to us. And 2, every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to these wonderful, amazing faces that you see here before you. That being said, I will turn things over to Dot to take us into space.
Oh, into space. Well, first, everybody, welcome back. It's been a few weeks. I hope you're well. Doing that thing. It is hot as hell in Georgia.
Hot as hell in California.
I wish you could.
Yeah, we're all melting here.
I wish it was much cooler weather than we are having.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're back. So that was a really intense recap. So we're not going to go through all of that. Instead, we're going to just kind of dive right back in, since there were absolutely no technical difficulties at all. We were running at time. Yeah, absolutely. So, after learning about this new information that David was working on some kind of plan that involved the Covenant, specifically the last 2 living members of the crew that was moving the cargo of all of these people, Their names, which I did my research, everybody. Homework done. Ding. Is Tennessee and Daniels. The burnt up one that inspired I guess further shenanigans potentially involving explosions and fire was Captain Jacob Branson, and then Captain Daniels and Tennessee were the only two that were left, and they were marked in the notes as Adam and Eve, some kind of starting point for David's larger plan. But somehow, through the midst of a little scare here, a face hugger there, everybody was able to make it back to the ship and began their trajectory back to the larger space station to report their findings to the commander, Commander Percival, with his daughter in tow. But they came across something in space. At least one of them did. Our dear Vince, you see a vessel. It is definitely a United Americas vessel. It has this like stamp and seal very clearly. Marine, probably, like it's sharp around the edges and it looks really military, which I think Vince might pick up on. But it seems to kind of be floating there in dead space. The light, you can see one single porthole on the side. The lights inside are like flickering.
And I'm currently standing next to, I won't use the name that we used in the green room, but we're currently standing next to Octana. And she had acted like she already saw this, right?
Yeah, she was already, you walked up to her to see what she was, if I remember correctly, she was looking out the window and you walked up to her to see what she was staring at. Do you say anything? She notices you. She looks at it and looks at you. You know what? And she might even say something. She's like, "What do you think?"
Vince sort of squints his eyes and looks out the window. And is it, what's the normal way that we detect ships in space? Like, is there a way that we haven't sensed the fact that there's a ship like right there?
I mean, unless there was a reason, Mother wouldn't really alert you. Like, you're not on high alert for other vessels at the moment, if that makes sense. But you could ask Mother about it.
Got it. I look at Octana and I say, what is that?
That was the ship we came in on. They left us stranded when the seal broke.
Oh. Was Octana with that party? Because I'm pretty sure that party was Sophie and Chaz and Jolene and all of them. Interesting. I look at her and turn briskly and move towards the cabin where the pilots are.
I imagine Kitchens is there. Is that where Kitchens was at, or did you go back to your lab?
I am likely wherever the largest grouping is at currently, probably attempting to assess what might be happening with a David model.
Yep. All right. So yeah, you would have whoever was assigned to you, I guess, on this ship to pilot you, and he's like, you know, moving along. He's like doing his thing,
just doing his thing. I go up and I pat them on the shoulder and I'm like, hey, wait, there, can you make Mother I don't know how this works. There's another ship out there. Guys, and I turn and address as many people as I can. There's another ship.
This guy. Yeah. Looks like there's some debris around here, and that vessel is floating dead in space.
I look for Sophie on the ship.
Sophie's in the shower right now with
I
Jolene.
don't look for Sophie. Okay. No, that is right. I go
Maybe
and
you
find
if you reach for the comms or something, he'd go, I wouldn't do that if I was your kid.
Yeah. I go and try to find Rin if I can.
Rin is
don't-
at a
yeah.
distance, keeping the cargo from getting into hands of others.
Yeah, I before doing that, I tell the pilot to stop and not to leave immediately, so in case we want to go investigate this ship.
Okay.
Right?
He'll throw it into like neutral and just chill for a second.
Right. And then I'll go find Rin and I'll be like, Rin,
It was
there's another ship out there.
Okay. The one that we left, or a different ship?
A different one. And Octana was kind of weird about it. She said that that's the ship that may have been the ship that Sophie and her crew came in on.
Oh, the one that left us stranded. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's right out there. Do you think we should? I'm just afraid,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Why don't we just try to hail the ship? How about that? Have you tried?
Yeah.
Hey, you. She's saying to the pilot.
What?
Can you hail that ship?
Of course I can hail that ship. And he
All
clicks
right.
a few buttons. He goes, you wanna, or you want me to, do you wanna?
I don't know what your protocols are communicating between marine ships.
Just say, hello, ship. Is there anyone alive inside?
Hey, I got it. I'm a professional here. I got it.
Yeah,
He
they're
says
the
it here.
professional.
Yeah.
Vince.
He flips the switch and he says,
This is USS. I need a name for this vessel. I don't have one.
Octobit.
It's a long name.
Yeah, Octobit. Yeah, this is the USS Octopi. I am hailing. What was the name? I don't remember. Military marine vessel. Come in. Hello. Anybody there?
I don't know.
Somehow all of our characters also took 2 weeks off. Like they just
They
floated in
forgot that this
space.
is alien and everybody's gonna die.
Yeah.
I
This has
I
become
just
a
got
comedy.
back. I just got back from the woods where I was in the actual military, talking on actual radios all the time, and now
That
I'm dead
sounded
inside.
just like that.
That sounded. It was spot on, Dot. You've never served in the military, Dot? No one can tell.
What? No.
That's awesome.
It's like he turns around and he goes, it's
Anything?
nope.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go and find Sophie. Where's she at?
I think she's in the shower with
Okay, well,
the other
she's
lady.
a Marine. She don't need to take 30 minutes to take a damn shower. Rin doesn't know. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Vince makes that face but doesn't say anything.
So she goes to wherever the washrooms are. She doesn't go in, she's gonna give her
Yeah,
privacy and
it's
just be like
steamy.
really
It's
loud,
very
like pounding
steamy.
on the door. Hey,
And, like Sophie gets like the shit scared out of her.
we got a situation. Are you done getting pretty?
Give us,
Yep.
Excuse me? Okay.
give me, just a few minutes. Just gotta put some clothes on,
Right, I need you on the bridge
I'll-
ASAP. Let's go.
Okay. Okay.
She goes.
I need to put some clothes on.
I don't know what else
I-
to say. She startled me.
I imagine she like tosses a towel at you and
Yeah.
turns the shower like off.
I also forgot in the meantime that Tracy's playing the nicest Marine in the world.
Yeah, I am playing the
It's wonderful. I imagine the
Anime
both
girl
of you
brain.
will suit up as soon as possible. And you'll join them in the bridge. They smell really nice because they had a shower.
We took a nice long shower, so good. Hello.
Oh, hello,
reporting.
Daisy.
Reporting.
Yeah.
Reporting.
Okay.
Yes.
I think this might be your ship there
Wait.
that vacated premises before you had a chance to escape.
Whoa, what? The ship is here?
Well, sort of. It's drifting on over there, but they haven't responded to any hailing attempts. So Thoughts?
Do you remember when? Because you said that the ship left without you, right?
They left.
So someone was on there.
Yes.
But why
There
would
was-
the ship? Did it take damage as you guys were leaving or coming in?
It was hard to tell. It might have taken some damage, but I think most of it was the Covenant.
Halo flashbacks. What?
Yeah.
The Covenant? Sorry.
We should try to get close to it, right? How far away is it?
No, it ain't that far.
He points out the front of the like kind of open bridge dash, and you can just see it. It kind of looks like a pile of junk at this distance, like a piece of the junk that's just kind of floating in this area. But yeah,
There's probably not many people left. It might just be the pilots. Most of my crew was already boarded.
Well, why would they not respond to any healing attempts? You imagine.
I don't know.
Okay.
And
well, they
we
ain't
can
moving.
see that we can see that the ship is damaged from here.
Are the engines still running?
Well, let me run a diagnostic. And he kind of like, again, he clicks and runs the thing. He says, looks like there's some life forms on board. 3 of them. And yeah,
So
it
they're
seems to be
still
running. Power's on backup though. They're kind of dead in the water. They need
Might
to
have
jump.
had some kind of engine failure or something.
Yeah,
Oh.
maybe they're having issues.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go
Well-
get Kitchens and Barden.
Good
And
luck.
I do. I try to
You
Oh,
have a
find
good shower?
that was- yeah.
yeah, we pan over in the next shower.
It's both kitchens and
Yeah,
Barden
yeah.
in the
If
same
that wasn't
shower.
clear- if
Kitchens
that
doesn't
wasn't
need
clear.
to shower. He's just taking
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah.
He has his notebook.
It's the only way it can
A
work.
whole bunch of rocks. Yeah, I go try to find them.
I imagine you probably find kitchens in the lab. Over this kind of decrepit remains of the original David model.
Oh yeah.
Kitchens, what have you been up to with this original David model?
Just taking notes, little notes, pretty much over everything outside of the like primary like brain functioning unit. I'm afraid to plug it in. You know, it's like when you finally get to stare your creator in the face, and then have your creator talk back. This isn't like a children's tale, right? This is
yeah.
a lot more serious.
So you're not gonna turn him on, basically. You're not gonna give him power yet.
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Interesting. Since can't take stress in this game, which is seems reasonable, but Kitchens, you are staring at your own face. And these kind of strange, I don't hesitate to call them memories, but they seem like flashes. Keep kind of panning across this concept of like an open body, operation tables, these things. It's like lost short-term memory flashes from a dream or something.
Okay. Is Barden near? Is he? Well, what is that sort of experience like?
I can be whatever you want for narrative purposes, buddy. I'm on the ship. So if you'd like Barden nearby, he's nearby.
Well, I mean, if there was ever an opportunity to be really close to the idea of aliens and potential like black holes and teleporting technology, like we're kind of on the precipice right here. We're looking at it.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So yes, he's nearby.
Okay.
I think like, so synths are outside of his realm, as are aliens. But don't ask him about that. So he's just like over the shoulder, creepy professor style, right? Just like a little too close for human comfort. Just leaning over, watching Kitchens do whatever he's doing.
Kitchens, would you like to make a roll of some kind, or do you have anything to say to Barden, who is lurking over your shoulder?
I don't think I'm gonna say anything to him. I think, um, for like logistical purposes, I think first and foremost, since this is the David model, and I know that I'm from a similar system, I want to basically take stock of what is viable for later use. I know that he's missing legs.
Parts. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Well, you are a David model. This seems almost too familiar in a strange kind of deja vu way as you begin to go over the body. You see that a lot of the parts have been replaced over time because remember the David model was upgraded and had a few phases of like better and bigger versus the original. So the original probably took parts from other David models and replaced theirs. There has been mass trauma to the left hand at one point. It was missing and was completely replaced. You would be able to note that just with your medical background period.
Okay.
Fully functioning, no problems, but it was completely replaced. And if you were to test the fingerprints, it is a David model hand.
I'm assuming that it's matching mine.
Yes, matches your fingerprints.
Okay.
You would note that there was severe trauma to the lower half of the body, probably based on an accident of some kind, explosion, fire, something severed the lower half. The upper half has been more surgically, when it was pinned to the wall, was more surgically placed and had a lot more purpose. So it had been like biopsied open. You can see the natural cuts where it was pried, and then like content warning, everyone, medical things. There would have been like wrenches and pliers and things that were used to pry back parts of like the rib cage to get to the inside of the body to actually apply a lot of the tubing and run a lot of the wiring from the computer system to mother.
Interesting. Do the arms look functional despite the previous stress and trauma that the hand may have had?
Yeah. From what you can tell, the arms seem in pretty decent condition. Of course, he was pinned, so there's going to be a little bit of like need to replace a piston here, or like a small thing there, but like the arms are functional. Then
I want to remove the arms, placing them on the sides. So if something were to happen, like per se, I am accosted by a xenomorphic alien and I happen to surrender my arm for the sake of the rest of the mission, I can go back and have a replacement. So
do you keep a lot of body parts?
I think he has like a sort of like a box of doodads, right? Things that are necessary for
lost and found.
Yeah,
there may be a foot in there.
it's I think theoretically, like I think he looks at it if you think of like a Terminator unit, right? Like you can replace models and parts, and other things you're going to find similar mechanics on other operational models. So he probably has things that is like, I don't know when this bar is going to break, so I strip that bar. I'll save it for later.
Yeah. I mean, it makes total sense.
Like fully functional arms, and it's already from the same model. This is like I just need a Mr. Fix-It, right? Someone to
okay.
I feel like your box of doodads and a normal box of doodads are very different.
I think the kitchens would find this scenario not really sure of where the original David model's head is at versus his own in this space. I think he sees it as rendering him impotent, taking away his power. If he were to bring him back to a functioning space, giving him arms, knowing that he's a David model, knowing that he's the first, feels very dangerous.
Maybe some precaution behind it as much as like self-preservation.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, Barden, you witness Kitchens take the arms off and put them probably away in his doodad drawer. About the time that Vince comes wandering in.
I feel like we see a very opposite world scenario where like Kitchens is doing his thing and Barden is there like Jane Goodall. Just like, and then he like writes it down and like looks at the drawer, writes the drawer down, and is trying to like observe his way around synth
Except
biology.
Barden's the monkey.
Yeah, no, he's Jane Goodall. God damn it. He's got his notepad out trying to figure out how this kitchen's man is taking apart this other half a kitchen's man.
Yeah. Okay. So, Vince, you wander in just about the time Kitchen's finished putting 2 arms away in a doodad drawer.
Hey guys. Oh,
Yeah.
kind of like cranes his head around to look at what's going on, and then moves back. The Sophie's ship that they came in on, that the team came in on, is still out there. It's floating just a little bit away. We're talking about checking it out. There's people, something still alive on it. 3 things.
They're
Maybe
moored.
human. What did you say?
Are they moored? Is there 0 response from the vessel?
Yes.
And they were last seen exiting the Covenant,
Yes.
where we had encountered,
Yes.
Yeah, we should probably just like
and they're no longer responding.
nuke that from orbit for sure.
Feels very
Well,
circular by design, but
Barden's answer.
Yes, but maybe when it, pulled away from the Covenant, there was some damage sustained or something. Like the ship is also like flatlined, like it needs a jump. And yes, that may be because of, but it might not be. We could just pass by and like just look through the windshield. Right?
Spaceships don't have windshield.
They don't.
It's not.
Oh.
You don't need to see when you're driving in space.
Well, I saw the only reason I even saw the ship is because I looked through a window. So
Still not
anyway,
why they're designed that way.
sorry, don't mean to disturb whatever you're doing. Are you finding good stuff, Kitchens?
I find that you two find this very odd. Was this strange
Yes.
for you?
Which part?
I don't know. It's kind of unsettling seeing something that looks like a human being dissected. That's probably it. But
Is it any worse than seeing a regular human dissected, or is that?
I mean, I never have.
Well, I
Yet.
mean, you saw one. His head get bashed in and get shot and.
Yeah, but nothing quite like, that surgical.
Vince, let me ask you a question.
Got some videotapes for you.
Where the current time that we find ourselves in, we have already surpassed the 21st century, where replacing body parts upon the natural anatomy of a human being and other creatures was fairly commonplace. At this
Yeah,
point,
a lot of money. Yeah.
at this point, he's simply a tool that is waiting to be utilized. And if my parts are destroyed, I would need to find a way to replace them. He's but a tool, and he's not going to need them anymore.
But wasn't a part of this you wanting to find out what he was like?
He's not going to
Isn't
need his
that some-
arms to tell me what he's like.
No, I know. But are you still going to do that?
I think so, yes. But I would be remiss to say that if I were capable of discovering and knowing what fear was like, that there may be some fear involved in the situation, mostly for the situation of yourselves. I have no idea what he is actually like, but I can most certainly say that his care for the life of humans is not nearly as high as what he cared for myself.
What makes you say that?
Do you think it was purely by accident that those creatures made it aboard the Covenant?
You think he brought why would he do that?
I think David was lost. I think he had seen something that made him question the point of his existence. Something similar to what I'm going through currently. And somewhere it fractured. He didn't quite compartmentalize Maybe he lacked the empathy for it. Perhaps he wasn't given the upper faculties. Creativity is lost upon us.
Yeah.
I also don't think he had anyone to talk to that knew a situation. And he may have found himself in a situation where he was superior. Or at least he believed himself to be superior to those around him.
Hmm.
He lived for a very long time, Vince.
He did.
Humans are social creatures by construct. Synths are not. We are a creature of purpose, if we're even considered a creature.
Hmm.
I think there's a lot more similarities between the human construct and the synth that are currently known.
Yeah. Vince
I worry
just
for you,
shoots a
Saul.
look at Barden and then looks back at Pigeons.
I have one question for you, bud. You said you were going through some existential thing, and I know we were talking about synth god and whatever earlier today. Are you gonna?
He like motions towards the disassembled, to put it nicely, David model.
Are you gonna have like a snap moment and try to take your head, body parts off and plug yourself into a ship or something crazy? Or bioengineer an alien?
I don't think that I'm going to do that.
Okay, great. If you
Admittedly,
if you,
I can't see into the future.
great.
I lack clairvoyance.
If you think you might do that, could you give us like a signal, like I don't know, like a bird call, something that you're never gonna do normally, so
Yeah.
we know, like a caw. We're like, oh no, Kitchens is he's going
Pardon?
You
down.
could have like a
Yeah, bud.
keyword or like
Yeah.
a safe word or something.
Right, right.
As I
Pineapple.
had stated with the previous David model, I don't think he had anyone to talk to
Yeah.
on a regal and human level.
Uh-huh.
He lacked friends, if
I mean, there
that's something
was-
that synths can even have.
There
So
was like 200 or 2,000 or whatever bodies that he could have just woken up and just decided not to, right?
I guess what I'm suggesting is that if that is a fear of yours, perhaps treat me as an equal.
You want like a candy bar or something?
No, I can't eat candy. You know
Okay,
this.
well, I was just
He
trying to be
says
nice.
treat him as an equal and you offer him a candy bar. Barden.
What?
I think it's a little more complicated than that. I'll go tell them, look, I don't think we should go in. And I'm I'm happy to know that you guys are a bit more suspicious of the ship than I initially was. But maybe we could just fly by and see what's in. I mean, because if there are people in there stranded and let's say their comm system's down, I would. What do you think?
Well, I suppose if anyone is capable of checking without provocation, it would be myself.
All right, then come help us.
Sure. He places his instruments down.
Back on the bridge, while this existential crisis is happening, the pilot looks to Sophie, and he goes, "So, what are we doing here, Captain? We're just gonna pull up alongside of them. You gonna like dock? They're on there.
We should dock.
All right.
If there are people
I don't
on
think we
there-
should dock. No, absolutely
If there are
not.
people on there, my people,
The same
I've
people
already
who
le-
left you for dead. Let's just
I
remind
already
you of that.
failed my first mission that I was supposed to do for my father. If I'm gonna go back empty-handed with just me and Jolene, it's
Need I remind you about the conversation that I had with you earlier? Would it not be prudent to be safe first rather than just docking right off the bat? I understand that you have optimistic thoughts here, but you haven't seen what we've seen yet.
clearly not. You all are spooked of something.
About this time, when you say spooked of something, that the crackle through the radio comes in from the other ship.
Hello? Hello? Is somebody there? Hello?
Oh, damn.
Sophie will go to answer it, and she'll say, "This is Sophie Quill, Lieutenant Sophie Quill."
Oh, Captain, you're alive. It's been like 3 days. You have to help us. You have to help us. We're trapped inside of the ship.
Are you all right? Are you? You sound panicked.
I have to go. I can't stay for long. You have to bring more men, Captain. You have to help us.
More.
I have to go.
She said we have to bring more men.
Well, I guess they found the prison. Okay. That's all I can say. Give me a minute. She goes towards where Vince went to try to find where him and Kitchens and Barden and all that.
We could say that me and Kitchens and I don't know if
They're all the
Barden
way
is
back.
coming.
Started walking.
Yeah. We're walking towards you.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Okay. We have a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
She like lowers her voice so that nobody can like so there's at least one person alive on that ship. They just got through to us, but I'm pretty sure they have another unwanted visitor. At least.
Oh. What happened?
Well, they were panicked and said that we had to bring more men. The problem is I don't know if I can convince Quill to leave.
What if I stumble in to the cockpit and I hit the missile button?
That is not how that works whatsoever.
How do you know?
Could
Have
be.
You've shot a missile in space. It could work.
It's a marine vessel. Of course, it's not going to just be a click of a button.
Okay, well, I'm sure it can't be too complicated.
Are you saying that we
And they
literally commandeer the ship away from the people that we're supposed to be rescuing? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, that is correct. That's what I'm saying.
That is a terrible idea.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the ship was given to us to command. I think
For one particular mission.
Right, that
and
did not
purpose.
include saving these people that are on an infested ship and probably incubating a life form.
Did you forget the part where the only reason why we are breathing right now is due to the good graces of Percival?
Yes, I did.
Right.
I
So
forget that a little
commandeering
bit.
the ship that we've been given as part of the mission and not returning safely with Quill is going to be a problem. Not to mention we have a bunch of mercenaries on this ship that will probably try to take it back from us.
We can do both of those things. I'm saying commandeer this ship, explode the other ship, and then go back like originally planned.
And then become prisoners and potentially dead.
I mean, we're already prisoners and potentially dead. They basically said, do this mission or we're going to kill you.
Okay, I have an idea. We
Great.
came here because there are still almost 200 people on ice on that ship, right? And us taking these three, if there are three survivors on that floating ship with us would be the same. If we believe that, you know, the alien is on that, that's the same as us taking any other thing. We don't want to do that. Is there a way we could tether that floating ship to the Covenant or like give them access to the interior of the ship? Because honestly, Kitchens took the most valuable thing. We don't have to worry about them messing with something. Maybe there are extra pods. Maybe if we can get them back onto the Covenant, maybe they could just put themselves on ice. Because I agree, I don't think we should take them.
Wait, you want us to put them on the Covenant?
I think, honestly, in the situation of people to rescue, they are the same to me as the 200 people on the Covenant right now.
Okay, you may be right, and I might be, you know, on board with what you're saying, but Quill will not be.
I know I sound like a crazy guy right now, but I'm pretty sure the Marine ship didn't come here with an alien on it, right? We can probably agree on that. So the alien had to have come from the Covenant. And if it snuck
we
on,
have evidence of that.
Right, exactly. And if it snuck on board once, and we tether it and allow those potentially living people to get off, the alien could also get off. There could be more.
Yeah.
There could be one. It could now make
Maybe-
200 hosts
Yeah.
inside the Covenant.
Yeah.
Not
Maybe
that they
the
aren't
only
already
one is
hosts.
on the Marine ship.
That
if
would
there's
be
one.
a stroke of luck.
Okay. So the only way for me to possibly see us convincing Quill to not take these people is to show her why
How would we do that?
in spacesuits.
That sounds so risky.
It is. It is so risky.
But what do you like? You're saying we go out on in
not
spacesuits?
all of us. Me, her, and Octana, because she draws a short straw, and I'm okay sacrificing her if something goes wrong.
To look at the ship?
Hmm.
Somebody say my name.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you're going on a mission with us.
Where?
After those people in the ship over there.
You mean the one that's floating dead in space?
Yep, that's the one.
I mean, technically, that ship over there is also floating dead in space, and you were all gung ho to go on that one. So
That's true.
I don't see the difference.
All right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Kitchens,
I don't know.
You want to come along or you want to stay on here?
I still think I'm the only one that might be able to walk on board that vessel without immediately striking provocation of the
Oh,
hostile
yeah.
threat.
Right. Yeah, walk on board, but I'm talking about letting somebody else see what they need to see so they can stop making it difficult for me to keep her alive.
Where do you best see me here, Ren?
I agree, especially in the case of you, you know, I trust that your judgment is it's not going to be interested in you, which means that you more likely can get and extract if there are survivors on board, evaluate whether or not they can be saved for that matter. As in there's no obvious presence of incubation.
Is there?
If we had hypersleep pods and they were carrying, they could be extracted. There's a possibility
Ugh.
even that they could be extracted without killing the individual involved. It would be a very delicate procedure. But I could do it.
Okay. We have those net guns, yeah?
Yes, we do. And they have been
Okay.
tested.
Okay, so what can we do? What can we come up with for a plan using our equipment for something like this?
So we are trying to save them?
Let's work the problem. Work the problem.
Okay. So we pull up to it. Maybe we don't pull up to it.
Not all the
And
way.
we get in spacesuits and try to enter the ship. I don't know. I already see that this is
Why
not
don't we
playing
just
out
send a
very
scouting
nice.
party?
No.
Is there something on board that we should be concerned with? 3 men, right?
3 life forms, he said. As in, we don't know what else is on there.
Okay. She looks at you like you might be a smidge crazy, but
Mhm.
Whose vessel
Did-
is this?
this
Is it property
was
of the military?
Yes, this was the Marine vessel that brought Sophie's team over originally, like a week ago or 3 days ago, or however long they've been out here. This was the one that abandoned them when everything went awry.
This would look favorably upon us if we were to retrieve the vessel for Percival. This would save him probably quite a bit of money.
Right, but
Are we-
any unwanted stragglers need to not be on there.
I agree. Which
We're
means that
trying to protect the knowledge of the thing from anyone else.
Better they see it for themselves. They're not going to believe us anyway, clearly.
I
All
thought
right,
a
how
part
about
of the
this? We'll
concern
go
of-
get Quill. We'll make a small team, right? Small team. Kitchens. I think your idea with you being non-provoking probably is something worth pursuing all the way. maybe even being able to take over the ship. Now, the problem is going to be whether or not the people on board can come with us. But you could, in theory, pilot the ship, right? So
They have a functioning mother unit, is my understanding.
Mhm.
And if they do not, they can at least have an autopilot feature that is built in, established with some functioning software. I have no doubt that it will pilot itself so long as we get it back online.
Okay. Okay.
Dot, do we have cryopods on our ship?
This was the one that was sent. But yes, this one probably would, because it had to be a larger vessel, knowing that it was a rescue mission.
Okay. So we have the space.
It's also a military vessel with a medical bay. I'm gonna guess that they probably do. Ours was a trash truck that we commandeered.
Yeah, that you put pods in. Yeah, I
Hey.
imagine this one has at least. Now, is there enough for everyone? Probably not. But I imagine
Yeah.
there's at least a handful of pods that could be used on this vessel.
I do have one question here, real quick. If we're planning this crazy idea to save these people, which I do not agree with, for the record, Vince, you hit on something pretty important there. I think you said about if they can come on board here. How are we gonna check?
Yeah. Well, that's what Kitchen said. We could put them right in the pod, and then apparently Kitchens can do surgery or something.
So, I really hate to dredge this back up there, bud, but you of all people should know that being in a pod does not, in fact, save you from an unwanted parasite exploding out of your chest cavity.
Yeah. Yeah, is that Octana's face?
Yeah.
I think there might be some inaccuracy in that statement.
I
believe-
I watched it happen.
It's
So
because the
I-
pod failed, technically speaking.
I believe that we are functionally a vessel of a feeding ground of sorts, and that if we stave off our bodies into a restful mode, that it will similarly put their system. Consider it another functioning anatomical system that we're putting in stasis.
sure. What I'm saying is, if it's already in there,
Not right
Sure.
away. It only did that
Correct.
because the pod failed. Power failure. Yeah.
but the
Okay.
power wasn't failed for too long.
If the power had been gone too long from that vessel, everyone on that ship would be dead.
Yeah, here's the thing: we unplugged it. It was only like, I don't know, what was it, like 30 minutes, Vince? So it was pretty damn quick.
All right. We're thinking too far ahead right now. I need to figure out how are we gonna get Quill involved with this, where she's satisfied with whatever outcome
Take
is
her on
gonna
a
be.
mission. She's gonna want to go.
I understand. that.
Actually, at this point,
Yeah, they didn't come
Sophie-
back, so I imagine you go looking for them.
Sophie is suited up, and she's ready to board the ship. Is everybody
There
ready?
you go.
Are we ready to go?
We're not boarding anything yet. Just hold on. Just 5 seconds here. I know you were anxious, but they can wait. They're not having any catastrophic failures or nothing
Yeah.
like that.
I don't see any way that we can hide this from anyone anymore.
We're not hiding anything. They just don't believe us. Quill, remember what we talked about?
Yes, and whatever it is, I'm ready to shoot.
Okay, yeah, the shooting is not the problem. The fact that your bullets are going to barely do anything at all. Now, we have the nets that could be beneficial to at least give us a moment of time, but oh my God. I don't
So
even know why
whatever
I'm
the
suggesting any of
thing
this.
you're talking about doesn't, my bullets don't do anything? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it bleeds acid, so take with what you want.
What?
Okay.
What?
Out. Maybe the two of us will go in on a scouting mission. We'll see what's up, and then we can come back, and we can use nets against the anti-bullet creatures.
Great. Yeah, you go.
After.
We'll stay here. Yep, go ahead. Just the two of you? Is that what you want to do?
I mean, it seems everybody's rather hesitant to go on board.
Yeah.
We're not docking, so you're aware. You're gonna have to make space jump.
Lieutenant
We're
Quill,
not docking with that shit.
Yes.
how long were you docked with the Covenant before your vessel fled?
Not long, 15, 20 minutes.
theoretically speaking, if the construct that we are discussing had made it on board, even if it is 1 or 2, the likelihood of them bringing pods or eggs on board is low. It becomes significantly lower for the amount of eggs. My significant guess is that it is the Xeno creature that may be on board.
Just the one.
Potentially more.
Well, okay. Do you want to test your theory? I don't feel comfortable telling you to go and do this, but do you want to test your theory and just be the first to scout it out? You can radio in.
Whatever the situation may be, I think it will require a spacewalk.
I agree.
My thought is that we do not touch down, that we
Right.
suit up and make our way across to whatever hatch may be available for us and enter that way.
Okay.
All right.
The rest of the Marines, remember, you have 3 more. They walk up behind. They are also suited and ready to go. Commands are given from the gentleman in the sunglasses, whose name has left me now. Enzo. Boom. Thank you. Enzo, he gives a couple commands. Basically, what they're going to do is set up, it's like a wire, a line, right, that ties it. You clip to it, and then you kind of spacewalk across to the other side. Is the easiest and best way to keep distance if that is what you'd like, so the ships don't actually physically dock. It'll take 20 minutes probably for them to do that, because one of them has to go over. They need to secure it. There needs to be tension. There's a couple things that need to happen. And you kind of watch, they use magnets actually to push the vessels apart to keep the line taut in space between the 2 ships and some other cool things. But eventually they return, and Octana reports rather grumpily that everything is ready to go.
Vince will go over to Rin and says, are you going to go with the away team?
Nope.
Okay, neither am I. Sophie, how about you? And I pull out, with some of the credits that we got between the campaigns, I purchased another radio controlled car with a camera. And
Aww.
I hand it to you and have some duct tape as well. And I'm like, you can just, here. And I just like jury rig this camera to Sophie's like pack on her back, so that the camera looks over her shoulder.
Huh. Cool.
I'll be able to watch.
Watch safely from your that it's fine. Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, kid. This is good.
Yeah. Don't be the first one to go in.
All right.
Yeah. I really okay. All right. Yeah. Have fun.
Thanks.
And I turn away, and I'll be doing surveillance, aliens style.
This is going to be our first roll of the night. Sophie, since you are going over with this other team of Marines to check this out, there's going to be a mobility check that is made as you spacewalk across. You basically land yourself to this taunt string.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Let's see what we get.
They're also going to end up rolling for this. It's a hard walk for
not good.
them. Not good. Mike, we don't have a corruption bar, do we?
Just the one.
Oh, we do have one.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
This is perfect. Well, everything seems to be going smooth. You're each kind of attached, and you're walking yourself across. And Sophie, here's a question. Do you want to push that roll? I need to know that now. You can push the roll and take a stress. You're already pretty stressed, but you can take one if you want to.
Yeah, we still maintain our stress from previous sessions.
Yeah, until you clear it, which hopefully we'll get a chance soon.
You know what? I'm gonna push.
Clear it in the shower.
All right, you're gonna push. Okay, you can take the stress first and then re-roll that mobility check.
All right, let's try. Come on.
Okay. All right. 2 successes. Much better. This is your team. Directly behind you is Enzo, and then the rest of his team, the 3 of them, probably like Tana and the 2 lackeys. you are first to arrive to the side of the ship. You know how to kind of like open this door. And you begin that process, and out of the corner of your eye, you see it. The piece that has kind of attached the wire ship to ship, and the magnets on either side that are pushing, you can see that there is an issue. It begins to kind of like pull free of the steel, the metal, and it like yeets. You can't hear it because it's space, it's empty, but you can see it immediately, and everything kind of like shifts. You have your hand very clearly on the door. Enzo is directly behind you. And you're able to grab on with your mobility check, no problem. Unfortunately,
Oh no.
that is not the case for everybody else in your crew. You see it like snap, and it like blows into space. There's your mouth noises for the night, everybody. And they all, there's that moment of panic. You see it all on their faces. They're going to need to do some things. I think Enzo's going to grab for you because you were solidly on the door.
I'll try to grab for him.
He succeeds. He grabs your hand, no problem. He reaches back to grab the next person, which is Octana.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. She how mean do I want to be, everybody? How bad is this corruption bar?
Super mean. I'm not gonna say a thing.
It's been 2 weeks.
I have to ask Sophie a question. Did your dearly beloved come with you? I imagine that
Jolene.
She wouldn't have just sat around. No, she would have wanted to come.
I'm gonna roll for Jolene.
Oh no!
Did I make a Jolene?
Did Kitchens go too?
Jolene had sustained an injury that was incapacitating her movement.
Oh, that's right. You're right. She did. She would not have been able to make this one because she had to pull herself through space. Good call. Kitchens, our dear doctor, our dear doctor had it under control. Okay, the other two are going to also reach. The problem is if... Oh, no successes.
Ooh.
No successes! Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Not
the two at the back.
This was, oh god.
They did not they don't make it. They kind of like begin to float free into space. You can see they're reaching for one another, and their like lanyards are still attached to a limp rope that is floating through space, and they're like reaching, and you can see there's like empty, silent panic across the eyes of everybody through their visors. Okay, now here's the big thing. Octana does manage to grab hold of Enzo's boot, like grasping the end of Enzo, and you and Enzo kind of have like a nice tight grasp.
Mm-hmm.
You are gonna have to make the check to pull everybody inside.
All right. Is this another mobility?
Actually, I think there's got to be
some sort of strength
yeah, a stamina check.
Stamina, okay.
Yeah, I would take a stamina check on this one.
Good for me. Let's see what we roll.
Everybody. 166. All you needed is a single success. Tell me how badass it is as you pull all three of you in from empty space.
Nobody can really hear anything, but Sophie is like kind of like yelling as she's pulling the two of them, and like and like she has a good grasp on Enzo, so it's like she's slowly but surely pulling him in, and then she grabs with her other hand, grabs his arm, and just starts pulling the two of them in, and we all kind of like topple into the ship.
So cool. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, and I imagine it's like all of your strength as you kind of pull them in to the other side of kind of what I imagine is like after you open up the hole, there's like a holographic, like we see it as holographic, but it's like a barrier, right? An air barrier, because you have to airtight seal it. And as you like blunk through, all of you come through the other side. You can hear each other, like once again, kind of breathing and panting, the sounds of your body on the floor. The emptiness of space is now gone because it's not a void. But you are two less. And you see Octana like bang on the sides of the ship as she watches two of her team float into empty nothing.
Can I? Is there anything that I can do, since I know that I'm not a breather? I don't have to breathe.
You're not a breather.
Correct.
You're right. You're not a
Mhm.
breather. Well, I'm guessing you all witnessed this, so I'm absolutely going to give you all an opportunity. You know what? I will give you all
Yeah.
a chance. I will give you all a chance to do something because you're witnessing this from the other vessel.
Can I use one of our net guns? These net guns have a repel cord back.
Yeah.
So it can either stick to a wall because they're magnetic, or they can draw back.
Or they can, you can like pull them in like a harpoon type weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
And-
dig this. This is cool.
Vince was going to go to
okay.
the pilot as soon as he sees that 2 people are floating in space and we are piloting a ship that can move through space. Vince would start yelling at the pilot, "Move, move, move, but not so fast we're going to hit them," trying to like move us to get closer to them floating in space.
Okay, he goes, the only way I'm going to be able to get them is, through the hickety hatch in the back. And so he starts to like spin the vessel round. Basically what he's going to do is drop the back hatch of the vessel.
Yep.
So Kitchens, you kind of hear that
Okay.
like, womp, womp. You're not wearing a spacesuit because you're a synth.
Sure.
Because that's cool, I guess. And your coat's kind of billowing in the wind. And you have this net gun, like a proper Ahab of this ship.
So much of this film's budget was spent on this singular scene
Right here.
of the hangar coming down. kitchen
You
stand.
It's like in
would
Game
have
of Thrones when it's like the
Yes.
giants are coming. You're like, oh fuck, there's the whole budget.
It is.
Yeah.
You would have to be kind of like attached. Like I imagine there's some kind of harness you have to wear so
Like
you're not sucked
carabiners
out
or something
into,
like that.
into space, and you're kind of like on the back of it. You see the 2 of them. There's like that empty rope, or the airline really, that is
Yeah.
floating through space, and they're like reaching. You can see the panic on their faces. Which one do you choose?
The video game dialogue option comes up. Which
Yeah,
one?
Left.
the left. Okay.
Left.
The guy on the left, he's kind of like, you can see they don't even have their guns like there's nothing on them. They're in full panic. I'm going to say this is going to be interesting. You know
By
what?
the way, I just want to say that Rin sees Kitchens doing this crazy shit and she starts suiting up.
Great. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to probably help him reel them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, this would be because it's a weapon, so it's a ranged combat attack.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have you make the ranged combat attack to see if you hit him in space. This will be interesting.
This is
Also,
not.
and
a
I
great
also
skill for
noted
me.
down that Barden did something to the net gun and it landed 3 successes. And I wrote a note saying that. I said Barden
Oh,
bubble
that's-
gummed up the magnetic
it's
net gun. I
enhanced
forget what you
now.
did.
It's an enhancement. You know what? I'll give you an extra die to this roll just because it is
Cool.
an
Okay.
enhanced weapon. Yeah, good call.
All right.
Yep.
So range combat. Come on.
I'm nervous.
You got it. You're fine.
I rolled.
Oh.
Is it just not coming through?
It's
This
it's-
is part of the
it's-
suspense.
Yeah,
It's part of the
yeah.
suspense.
Right,
Well,
I
the
get-
slow mo and
Yeah.
the gun
Oh,
goes
it's-
off.
Okay. You
Nothing.
have no successes, but you also don't have any failures. So that's like a huge plus in this regard. So you like shoot the net out, and the guy on the left, like he reaches for it, and doesn't quite reach him. The reeling it in is pretty quick, I'd imagine, because it's all attached, right? So you like hit
Yeah.
the button, it like sucks it back in. You'll get another chance. Rin, at this point, you would be able to join him and there's like you have magnet boots because you're in
Yeah.
the suit itself. So
All right. She kind of
I passed the gun to her.
jumps over the edge there, like waits for her boots to lock in, and she's like, "All right, so here we go." Plus
Is
one
there a
on
way
this,
that
right?
Yep.
convince? Is there a way to see from the pilot part of the ship? Oh my god! Is there a way to see
Wow,
from
I'm
the pilot part of the
pushing
ship
that.
all
Uh-huh.
the way through? Like,
To
could
the
Vince
back, you
see them
mean?
right now? Yeah.
no, you would need to like travel to the other. You could do it on like a video call, like in the bridge. You could.
Can
Yeah, absolutely.
I?
Okay.
I might
Rin
not need to
pushed-
do anything though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see it. You see this happening. You see the like yellow lights
Yeah.
flashing on what I imagine
Mhm.
those like cheesy 80 bulb screens, you know, like because everything's
Yep.
like those cute, and you
Mhm.
can kind of like just barely see it because it's definitely not high quality or HD in any way. And they're standing back there like badasses on the back of the ship, shooting the net out, trying to catch them.
Hmm.
Rin, after pushing and taking a stress,
Yeah.
this moment of like, you're gonna lose these people. This is it. You get the first shot, and it wraps around the guy on the left, which is the one that is kind of farthest away.
Yeah.
He kind of crumples up in a ball, like a and it immediately like begins like sucking him in. The other guy is scared.
Don't
He's
we
really
have
scared.
more than one net gun?
I think you
Not
have
with
one-
us.
No,
It's on.
no.
It's on this ship.
Okay.
I had to take it with
So,
him.
You will be able to get this guy out. Like, you can dump him because he's in a suit. He's fine.
Yeah.
He magnetizes his boots rather quickly. You're only going to get one chance now. You won't
All right,
get two to get this guy.
Can I try to get closer to the edge, like the farthest out from the opening of the ship, basically?
Okay, a little risky.
Yeah.
A little risky, but
I got
Risky
magnet
business.
boots.
you got magnet boots. You
got magnet
you
boots.
lean, and you technically have Kitchens if Kitchens wanted to like grab a carabiner or like lock onto your suit or something, because he's also attached to the ship.
Okay. Can I get an extra die for that?
No,
Damn.
because this is extra risky.
You do
It's worth
get an
a
extra
shot,
die
guys.
from the gun itself.
You get
though.
No,
one
yeah,
extra die for the gun
Yeah.
itself.
And Vince is just watching, ready to move
2 successes.
the ship. Good. Good
You did
job.
it. 2 successes. Technically, you would get a bonus for this range attack. I don't know if there's anything you wanted to take from the table.
Push. No.
Yeah. Don't push it. Yeah, rain coming, because you're not really doing any kind of damage. No, I don't think there's anything. Yeah, no, because you're not really looking at an opponent. This is somebody you're trying to help. And you reel him in. The captain, you see this, Vince, immediately hits the button, like this big button on the console, and the door begins to close. Kitchens and Rin, and the 4 of you are able to kind of tumble in back inside.
Over comms, because I imagine everybody's on radio, right? Okay, your 2 stragglers are back on the ship. Just FYI. Keep your eyes peeled.
The camera cuts back.
Like, I feel like Sophie's kind of like heavily breathing, kind of catching her breath after everything. At least they're safe. That's good.
Yeah, but we're 2 men down. She kind of see her like load the gun, This is just a small holding chamber into the main ship. It pressurizes, right?
Depressurize, all that. Or repressurize.
As you enter, you see emergency lights are on.
Okay.
It's very quiet in the ship. What do? Because they're following your command.
I want to head toward the cockpit.
Yeah, you
Or
would
at least
know
where the
this is-
comms area is.
Yeah, this is not a big vessel. It was meant to be like a kind of basic, and it has a cargo pit. And so as you begin to head down, you can see there's no signs of struggle. Nothing seems to be turned over. It's as if the ship just like poof, kind of powered down. Do you have any kind of abilities around like being ambushed or hearing things? Because if not,
Love when your game master
Nope.
asks that.
I will let you just make an observation check then, because you're kind of on
yeah.
high alert.
Which, by the way, I forgot that I have a talent called Banter, which helps me reduce stress, which I feel like
Yes.
retcon it for now. But I realized during the downtime earlier, I probably would have really.
I mean,
stressed,
technically,
but-
you could be walking through
My
right now
or, yeah.
bantering. If you tell me banter, I'll let you drop a point of success.
Okay, so yeah, Sophie's like, she turns like her light on, turns the camera on, and she's like, she's talking to herself a little bit. It's like, okay, everything's probably fine. And I like comms into to everybody back on the ship, and like Vince, like, all right, I got the camera on. You seeing this? Everything all good? Cool.
All good.
Well, we're just doing our routine checks. I'm gonna be heading, doing just surveying the entire ship. We're gonna make our way down the hall and start with the, at the end with the cockpit, and then make our way back, and it'll be fine. And we'll make our way back, do our rescue, and head back. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey,
We'll busy ourselves worrying about how to get a connection between the ships again.
Yeah, that would be great. It would be great for us to be able to get back. So, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Ren. Did you tell her about the?
Ren is missing. Sorry.
Okay, I don't know. Where's Ren? Okay.
Tell me about the
Vince
what?
turns to.
Did we tell her about the Vince?
I don't know why we sent. Why? What?
Okay.
I thought
I'm not-
Kitchens was going over.
I don't know who's in charge of this thing. Can you hear me? Lieutenant, whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Just be aware that when you're looking around, make sure to look up at the ceilings. Sometimes things can walk on flat walls and or flat ceilings, and probably curvaceous ceilings too, if that's what
can
kind of
roll
ship
an
you have there.
observation.
But just look around, all
Yeah.
directions. You know, X, Y, and Z, right? 3-dimensional space and all that.
All right. Thank you for that, Doctor. I will survey my surroundings. Oh. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Why
So
are you
those
saying
are those.
Are you saying it like that?
What does she see that makes
Just
that
bad.
reaction?
I got the dice with the aliens on them.
Oh
I'm scared. Two of
okay.
them.
Yikes, buddy.
And a regular success.
Okay, and yes, you see it, but when you do, it strikes some kind of strange fear in you, some kind of strange terror deep in your gut. You have to roll off the panic table, so hit your panic button on your character sheet
Panic,
top.
okay.
It says like roll buttons. Yeah, okay. Your team can't hear it, but you can. The sound of your gun begins to rattle in your hand as you begin to tremble uncontrollably. Moving forward, rolls using agility are going to suffer a -2 until your panic stops after the scene. So there's like a shake that begins to happen because as you round the corner, you see it. 2 of your Marines are feeding on another. They're eating him. There seems to be like a crazed look in their eye. It's probably not at all what you expected. There is no creature. There's no anything. The 2 of them turn around and they have large pounds of flesh in their hands, and they turn around and look at you, still wearing their United America's uniform. They smile, and one of them says, "Captain, you came for us. We were so hungry," one of them says.
And she like slowly lifts her weapon to them. What's going on?
It's been a week, Captain. We were just doing what we had to, and you can see they kind of both begin to stand up. They drop the flesh in their hands.
It was a week for me and Jolene too when we didn't start eating each other.
Jolene leans over and she goes, "Captain, there were 4 of them. Where's the 4th?"
Didn't think Jolene was there.
Oh yeah, Jolene wasn't. We'll say that
Jolene's
was
on our ship.
Oh, that's right. No, I'm sorry. Enzo leans over. Because they would have been briefed, right?
Yeah.
That there were so many of you.
And I
he
would know
said
too.
there were 4, right?
Where's the 4th? The one who calms in.
They kind of begin wiping their faces. "Don't know, Captain. You got any food on you?"
I might. Yeah. I actually don't think I even have anything on me.
No, you definitely would
I don't.
not.
I was like, I don't even have like.
You can feel the tension begin to rise. Your hand is shaking. The light at the end rattles against their bodies as you kind of spotlight them in the darkness. And they go, he disappeared, Captain. Day 1, we haven't seen him.
Have you seen anything else on the ship?
No. Power went out. We don't know what's wrong. They begin kind of slowly stepping towards you.
Can Vince do something? Seeing this?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I have my little camera
this through her camera back on a tiny little monitor at the ship.
how bizarre can our comms? My heart is like racing right now.
Mine too.
Can our comms between me and Sophie, is that something that she only hears in her helmet?
Yes. Only
Yeah.
it would be helmet.
Vince goes to the pilot. Has he been doing a good job piloting so far? You know, just in
I
general.
mean, he's a pretty standard pilot. He's all right. So I mean, he
Okay.
backed the bird around like you said he was gonna.
I approach him and I say, "Turn our ship towards their ship." Just
listen, kid.
trust
That ain't
me.
how you.
Look, and I show him the screen. This is what she has to deal with. I'm going to tell her when, and we're going to bump their ship. And I calm Sophie and I say, Sophie, I'm going to count down. And when I get to 0, the whole ship is going to rock. Take that moment. You hear me?
Problem, kid. The magnets haven't been deactivated. We got polar opposite push. You know what I mean? Hey, we could turn them, polarize them.
How about that? That's even better. Then we don't have to aim the ship. Is that
bad news, kid? Bad news, kid. You got to do it from the outside.
I'll do it. How fast is that? Is that going to smush their ship? Is it going to kill everyone on their ship though?
Bad news, kid. You're only going to have a few seconds to get back in. Because once you change the polar,
it's fine. It's fine. But is it going to kill everyone? I just wanted a little bump. That's all I want.
Well, once the magnets touch, ideally it should stop.
Okay.
I don't like this plan. And the camera cuts back to the side of the ship where Rin is already outside, beginning fixing the cabling. This is a disaster. The cabling.
I love it so much.
I imagine that you see the door like slide open. Vince, are you going out there to do this?
Yeah.
Vince comes moonwalking, like boot walking on the side of the ship. I don't know if you've ever done this before, Vince.
Nope.
It's rather terrifying. There's Rin stuck to the side of the ship as well, like
in
resorting and reeling in the cable or whatever.
What are you doing?
There's cannibals on their ship. So
okay, and it entails you being on out in space.
Yeah,
why?
I'm gonna reverse the magnets so that our crew doesn't die.
Okay, hold on now. That could cause a whole load of issues, right?
Yeah,
How
you're
are we
right.
gonna get
You're
them
really
out?
right.
Okay,
I don't know.
I
don't
still
know.
think there is a valid option here. However,
Okay.
So there's another entry point, right, on this other ship.
Sure.
So why don't I just go in and, take them out from the other side?
That would work.
Just tell me where they are.
Take this. And I hand her the camera or the screen.
Spacewalk.
Oh, you're muted, Dot.
You probably have one like on your arm.
Oh.
Right. It's like you have like because it's your suit, right? So the captain would just pipe through whatever camera feed is coming from Sophie's helmet. And you can see. And again, like the camera almost like fades in to where Sophie's standing, and the two of them are kind of shuddering towards you. One of them kind of tips their head and he says, "Huh, Captain, you're not captain anymore." And he points at Octana and then over to Enzo because they weren't there for any kind of changeover switch. They seem to probably know these Marines. They're not wearing the same striped stars.
What?
You're going to save us, right?
That's what we were planning to do. But maybe we should
to do?
We need to do some checks first.
What kind of checks? We're starving, Captain. We've been out here a week.
Look, it just and she's going to take a couple of steps back, actually.
They proceed when you step back, their stutter step becomes a bit more of a solid step, and you see Octana like step up, and she you hear her like take the safety off of her weapon. It like she says, "Hold."
I kind of want to peer over to the body that they were consuming. Does it look Does anything look odd about her? Or does it just look like they straight up were just ravaging this?
It looks like they stabbed them. The weapons there. You don't see any gunshots or anything like that. This is probably the woman you were speaking to earlier.
Okay.
Who came through the mic, like came through the headset thing. Comm. That's what I'm looking for. Came through the comms, and they are wearing a uniform as well. They were also part of your team. You recognize her. Her throat has been slit, and they were very clearly like munching away at her. This is not a zombie type situation. Like I'm not talking like rah, 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 and there's
right.
you know, guts everywhere. This is a little bit more yeah, it's a little bit more controlled than that, but you can see her body has bled out everywhere. There's a massive pool of blood.
We need to find the fourth member and get all of us out of here.
The fourth member, we haven't seen them. They just disappeared.
How could they just disappear?
Don't know. We thought maybe they are the ones that stranded us out here.
Look, I just want to do one check of everything. If there's nothing else, if we can't find anything else, I just want to make sure we're accounted for, and then we'll get out of here, okay?
The one that kind of was at the back steps up and he goes, y'all are going to leave us here. You're going to leave us here to die. The other one turns and looks, like taking in what was said, and you see that mark of convincement like come over this person's face, like they've been convinced, and they turn and look at all of you and they're like, you're gonna shoot us, aren't you, Captain? You're gonna kill us out here in space. And both of them pull large knives. You would know these to be like military issued bowie, and they run at you.
Oh boy. All right.
It's time.
It's time
you
to
hear
shoot.
you hear the thing come over and you get ready to shoot now.
Yep.
We're gonna treat this like one giant initiative. Kitchens and professor person, thank you, I'm sorry, I have words. What are the two of you up to? Because you basically saved these two Marines, but now you know that there's something's going on because Vince and Ren have both exited the vessel once again.
Barden was with Vince, I think, when he saw.
You want to go out of the vessel?
No,
with Vince?
God no. When he was on the comms and when he saw the camera,
okay. Yeah. So you at least know what's going on.
Yeah, he was letting those Marines die. He was fine with that. He was looking over whatever magical window Vince is looking at, just letting them tether out there. I do have a question for you though, Dot. I have a talent that is vaguely applicable to this situation.
How vague, Mike?
So it's called analysis. Lets me roll observation to gain insight regarding strange and alien artifacts or creatures that I encounter. This, the human body can survive 3 weeks without food. 1 week is not enough to make you become a cannibal. That's fucking weird. I don't.
Okay,
you don't need to be any kind of scientist to know that. You could just read a book.
Okay, roll observation.
Okay.
I will give it to you. You can roll observation. Did it give you a bonus?
It does not give me a bonus for that.
Okay, so I'll give you just a basic observation roll for this.
Okay.
As you're watching on this very tiny black and white monitor.
Yeah. Okay, I am gonna push because
Wow.
why wouldn't I?
Y'all, the rolls tonight are not in your favor.
Yeah.
As empty
This
as
is
a
how
vacuum of
horror.
space.
This is how horror movies happen. Like
Wait,
just
true.
it's just the bad roll
Yeah.
of the die
Yep. Continual
for a good corruption
nothingness.
bar. Thanks everybody.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh. Okay, so I panic a little bit.
Okay,
That's a roll
okay.
and a
Well,
half.
this is a success. So here's what you note immediately.
Oops, just
they
one, just the
are
one,
they
sorry.
are rather emaciated.
Okay.
They are rather emaciated. So you can tell that they are starving. Like the sure signs are there, sunken in eyes, the kind of basics.
Oh,
It's not unheard of for extended dead time in space to cause people to lose their minds. This is well documented. It happens all the time, especially for those that don't expect to be rescued, right? Sometimes they'll come across ships where everybody's killed everybody else and there's no explanation for it other than everybody went freaking crazy, right?
Space madness.
Space madness, basically. So there's no supernatural or kind of alien-based thing here. This seems to be like a full-on case of space madness that happened across the crew. Now, why the fourth person is missing? That you don't know. That being said, you did roll a panic. 7, I believe,
Is a twitch, so I gain an extra sweat. I gain an extra stress.
Extra stress, yeah. So make sure you mark your stress. Your eye begins to twitch a little bit as you think about space madness. There's not really, you don't come back from your mind basically becoming liquid in space.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think he just kind of mumbles that over the comms. We gotta be careful. I've heard about this. It's space madness. And it sounds just as crazy.
Yeah, the pilot looks at you like, what the hell? And then the camera cuts to Kitchens. Kitchens, what are you up to in the midst of this?
Space madness.
What do they say the two military men that were pulled back? What are they like at the moment?
One of them seems very traumatized when he takes his helmet off. The other one is very kind of upset. There's like anger. He's like, I know he should have. And he's like punching stuff, and he's like fucking floating through space and fucking. He's like an angry Marine, you know. He's taking his aggression out a different way. The other guy's kind of like.
I can't make that angry man feel super good, or at least I can try to fix that situation in a moment. However, I actually do have some medication that I can give him to destabilize that stress.
Oh, nice. Is it? I'm guessing it's a shot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you put it right in his arm. I imagine you don't even probably ask. He's like kind of holding himself and like replaying this moment where he was dead sure he was just gonna float into emptiness. And the shock of the shot kind of startles him, and he turns and he looks up at you and he sees you. This was the first guy you attempted to rescue, and tears are kind of whelped up in his eyes, and he looks at you and goes, thank you. You saved my life.
He just nods.
I owe you so much. And he in such a human way, in such a vulnerable way, reaches out and throws his arms around your neck.
He just pauses. He doesn't know what to do.
There's maybe some awkwardness as he realizes that he's hugging you and you're maybe not hugging him back. And there's also, like I said, that heightened sense of the trauma of needing to just be held. This is a Marine, this is somebody that is trained for this, and he seems shocked by the events. And he says, if you ever need anything, you tell me.
Of course.
And he kind of shakes it off a little bit, and you can see he's getting a little drowsy. And he smiles at you, and he says, your face is so... And he kind of brushes his hand down your cheek in that like very drugged up kind of way before surgery. He says, your face is so beautiful. Have I seen you before? And he kind of like nods off a little bit.
Anatomically symmetrical at best.
And he like, and he kind of dozes off into a little bit of like a light sleep, right? It's just like an anesthetic or whatever.
Throw his arms over one another.
The other guy's still beating on crates that are never going to break, no matter how hard he tries. And he eventually kind of wears himself out, and he's now panting not from trauma, but from just like body exhaustion and exertion of strength. There are two. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I waited out. It's
Yeah,
like just a notes moment, just like,
Yeah.
there was the panic. That's
He's
a
like-
little different.
Yeah, he's like really tired now, and like the boxes are kind of all tumbled over the place, and he gives up and he kicks it one more time and sits on top of one. Pulls out a cigar that's clearly already been lit once before and puts it in his mouth. The end is soggy.
Better.
Maybe.
Would you like something to lighten the load?
What, like drugs?
Kind of points to the gentleman laying on the floor.
I don't want to be like him.
How about something just to take the edge off?
Kind of looks at you. He was in the room. He knows because you're one of those synths, aren't you?
I am many things. Keen on understanding medical observations was my primary function.
He points and he says, they say that you're not allowed to harm a human.
They say a lot of things.
I ain't never had a synth save my life.
And there's always a first, isn't there?
Kind of removes the cigar and spits nasty tobacco fluid to the side. Maybe. Either way, I don't like it. And he puts the cigar back in his mouth and he like pulls his sleeve up and you can see it's just like oversized muscles and his tats and all kinds of stuff. And he says, you can put it right there in Betty. And he's got kind of like this pin up on his arm.
Sure. I decrease the dose amount so it's not going to put him into sleep.
Yep.
And I just give him a small injection.
And he kind of slides down the barrel and takes another deep breath. You can tell he's exhausted and he kind of puffs away on this terrible, the cigar smells horrible. Anytime you light it a second time, it just smells just rank. And the camera cuts to these two Marines covered in the blood of their peers are running at you with knives. Sophie, I'm going to give you first up. What do you do?
I'm going to shoot at one of them.
Okay.
Try to shoot for their legs.
Yeah, roll a ranged combat attack.
All right. Close combat. Oh, there it is.
Okay, Morse. Your own men are running at you, about to kill you. You see this slain open body. They're covered in blood. They were eating their flesh. You've never seen anything like this. Good news, you get the shot off. And it does hit them. We'll say you like pluck one in the side. They go down. They're not zombies. There's nothing supernatural about them. You just shot them. That being said, you are going to need to roll that panic table.
Okay.
Poor Sophie.
Your panic has
8.
Okay, an 8. Again, the tremble starts. So that would be, again, you're going to just maintain anything with agility if you're trying to dodge, which is about to happen. Your other two peeps, they're also going to ring out a few shots with no successes. Finally. Okay, Enzo steps up. 2 6s is what we need. And Enzo is going to fire at the other one. Cuts across the body. Is going to do extra damage with the second success that they rolled. And you watch as both of them go down. Neither of the soldiers are dead necessarily, but they're bleeding out. And you can see them like gasping for air, probably shot through a lung of some sort. Knives are dropped. They look at you, Sophie, their captain, their leader, their lieutenant. And as they die and the light fades from their eyes, you can see the sadness and the disappointment and the misunderstanding in all of this. The camera cuts outside really quick. I need to know if you're gonna bang these two ships up next to one another.
I don't think
No,
so.
I think the original Rin brought up the idea of her jumping out and coming.
All right,
doing
Rin,
a
roll
little
the
commando strike.
roll the mobility check to jump over because you're gonna jump across basically and ride space. That's the plan, right?
Well, yeah. So basically, her original idea before Vince came out there was to reset the tether because they need to get back.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that she doesn't know really what the situation is inside other than this whole cannibal situation now. So the idea was to retether the ships.
So there's a gun for that basically. So basically what you do is you go out and you reel back in the two ends and you you slam it against one and you kind of prepped that. Vince is out there kind of holding it and helping you at this point. So you need to and you can see the two magnets are still there. Yeah. Okay. Well, you have to activate this. This is a heavy machinery roll to shoot basically the grappling gun to the other vessel.
Oh, well, that's gonna suck.
Vince could help you, I believe. Vince, if you help, you'd gain a die in this case because you have heavy machinery, right?
Affirmative.
Perfect.
That's really surprising. But
success. You got the success. It out and you see it like shoot across empty space. That it That is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Sophie, about the time that everything goes quiet and there's a moment and you're standing there with the rest of your team, what's left, you can hear a thud.
Yeah, could Vince have counted down since that's the big thud?
Yeah,
now?
yeah, that's the big thud. Yeah, and you hear the thud into the ship on Vince's count. Roll your panic though, Rin.
Yep.
You are out in empty space. 7. Okay. You're going to take another stress.
Yep.
This is a stressful situation. You just watched 2 men botch this the first time, and what happens when that goes down.
Yeah.
But it is, well, you can't hear the thud, but you see it connect solidly to the other side of the ship. It seems very, very stable. The magnets, you see them activate. The lights go like red, so they're pushing against one another, and the line kind of goes taunt. Oh yeah, and Vince, you also take stress from being near Rin.
Good.
I forgot about that. Thank you for the reminder, Mike. You can blame Mike for that one.
I'm the king of rolling 7s for stress. I stress everyone around me out.
You just know.
As we come close to the end of the evening, there is that glorious sound of safety. You know now what happened here, at least you think, but there is still one body
That
missing.
one person.
Sophie, what do you do?
I'm gonna tell the 2 of them to get to the exit, and I will meet them momentarily. I'm going to run, like just do one, because it's a small ship, one sweep, and then meet them.
Enzo puts a hand on Octana and he says, I'm the leader of this group now. She's not going by herself. Get the rest of them. Grab the bodies. He says, because of course, you know, he collects their dog tags. He's like, grab the bodies. We'll meet you back. We're just going to do a sweep of the ship. He's going to be your backup because, you know, nobody should sweep a ship alone ever. That's just good Marine training. And he takes your back as point. And the 2 of you begin sweeping the ship. I'm going to have you roll another observation.
Okay.
Or survival. I would actually take either here.
I'll do survival. Let's see what we get. Okay.
Sophie.
The theme of the night.
I know.
One success. The survival's good. Go ahead and roll your panic again.
Okay.
Panic, man. It'll get you. A 4. Okay. You managed to stay this one off. You've seen a lot of shit. There can't possibly be anything on this ship worse than your own men eating a member of their own team. But you start kind of panning, you check the ceilings, you follow Vince's orders, and the 2 of you like clockwork, back to back, right? Side to side in every room. You don't see anything until the very end. You come across in the bridge, which has been kind of sealed off. You almost have to use like an override code, which you would have as the lieutenant to open it. You see something that you recognize because you just left a bunch of them back on the Covenant. A multi-legged critter lays face up, legs kind of curled in, dead.
No.
Yeah, it lays kind of on its back. It is very much devoid of color, but there nonetheless. Enzo looks at you with those eyes of like, this is not good, and the stakes kind of raise a little bit. Yeah, the stakes raise a little bit. And as you continue to look around, you see off in the corner near the bottom of the like bridge, right where the kind of console touches the floor, there's an air duct that has been broken open, kind of pushed in and cracked away. The edges have a little bit of acid damage, it almost looks like, or burned away with a chemical in some way. Enzo gets down low and kind of pans the light. He doesn't see anything, but he says, that's blood. And he points kind of down at the floor.
I feel like at this point, Sophie, in her absolute panic and defeat after shooting one of her own people, she just says, forget it. Let's go. They're dead.
After you, he says, after you. You finish the pan and you go around the ship, and the last thing that you find deep, actually, in probably what is considered the bathroom, right? Single shower on this. Like it's more like a chemical like shower, like one that you could brush chemicals out. It's not like it's a puddle jumper, right? You see off in the corner your last crew member. Their chest is like broken open. You've never seen anything like it. This is not cannibalism. Nobody ate this person. You can see the gnarled look on their face, pulled and tugged in all the wrong directions. They were clearly alive when whatever it was broke free through their chest. Small feet of some kind of bipedal creature or thing has kind of scuttered away from them. And you can see those feet lead right up to the air duct vent. He says, I don't like this.
Oh. Let's get out of here now.
And he follows you in suit. You can see Vince and Ren and Octana as they're prepping, and Octana's even like clipped on and like getting ready to back out, right? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear something behind you, Sophie. The sound of some kind of strange cracking in the vent system. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I'm so sorry. Strange cracking in the vent system. It's like a weight, a stepping, and then a kind of clicking sound of a creature unknown to you as you pan your light in the darkness. And Enzo says, what is that? And as he turns around, you can see a tail drop from the ceiling with a large spike on the end of it. It rolls down and out, showing its full length, and behind it, the body of a creature you couldn't possibly fathom. It's jet black. Its mouth kind of shares itself with you, and as it pans backwards, you see metal teeth, sharp as needles. And you hear Enzo say, fuck. And we will end tonight's episode there.
Oh, so wait, was it right over Enzo, or is it?
It's kind of right. You turned around. It's about 5 or 6 feet coming like down and out.
Oh God. Okay.
What better way to set a trap than to leave your team alive?
Yep.
Y'all, they
Okay.
all look so mad at me. I'm so sorry.
Okay. All right. Well.
Don't hate me.
Well. A new convert to Team Barden coming soon, or a new character. Who knows? Fuck indeed. That does it for episode 6. Which I feel like another good title, Relative Safety, is the name of this episode. It was intended, it was intended to be like, we made it back, but we didn't because
God.
alien. Yeah, let's go around, do our introductions, get the hell out of here, and do our after show. And if you guys want access to the after show, it's available exclusively over on Patreon. Link for that down below. But before that, we'll jump around. We'll start with Tracy. Tracy, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hello, everybody. I am Tracy, also known as Mismatch Tech on the internet. You can find me streaming several days a week. Right now, I stream on Fridays and Sundays, D&D on my channel. And then I also sometimes stream during the week. I'm playing through my RPG backlog right now, playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition on Mondays and Tuesdays. So feel free to hang out. And yeah, that's me.
Sweet. Zach, what about you?
I'm just Zach doing Zach things on the internet. And you can find me on this channel. You can find me on the Arvin Eleron channel, where I'm a part of a sci-fi D&D stream called Esper Genesis, and a show called Our Vocalists with Dot, where we voice act video games. And on my own Twitch channel at twitch.tv/ZachClay sometime in the near future. And that's it for now. No one's gonna die.
Wink.
Yeah.
At least Sophie knows what to report now.
Yep.
Yes. Our plan worked?
Told you so.
Jesus. Bob, what about you? Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to, bud?
Hi guys, I'm Bob. I'm as as others will say, I'm doing bub things out here. I've got stories to tell, make voices loud, and I'm trying to see what games are coming out in the future. I've had a lot of free time in my life when it comes to role playing, so I was really looking forward to the return to this. And
Hell yeah.
I hope that the coming Thursdays are strong, and we don't get absolutely plundered by alien scum.
No,
So there is that. That's me.
we'll see. Meta, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hello, I am Meta. I'm not doing anything at all on the internet except for this. I'm secretly plotting my revenge against Octana, who was the one who's supposed to die in that ship. So, if you guys want to like brainstorm with me, I'll be on Discord. Okay.
How mad are you gonna be that if Enzo dies
Enzo's
and
definitely
Octana
gonna
comes
die.
back?
Everybody
Enzo's
knows Enzo's gonna die because he's the hero. He's gonna sacrifice himself to save Quill. It's gonna be a whole thing. And then Ren's gonna see it, and she's gonna probably shoot Octana in the face while she's in the space. It's fine. It's
Well, she's like
fine.
coming across like.
I haven't even thought this
Yeah,
through at all.
Rin has the gun in one hand and the feed of what's going on in the other, and she's like, "No, bang."
Just like
Just
I can't reach the
angry.
alien, so
Yeah.
so Octana bitch is gonna be
Just floats away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Whoops.
Love that.
I'm just kidding. It's
Love
fine.
that.
It's
Nothing like
great.
that's gonna
She's
happen.
not kidding. Last but not least, Dot, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Friends, I'm your littlest red dot. I'm very excited I can announce it now. Literally, right when the show started, they announced I'm going to be joining the guest GM cast or group for D3 at Sea. So come be on a cruise with me in March, and I'll be running some D&D games. So you can check that out. It's kind of like
What?
D&D in a castle, but fuck castles. We're on a boat.
Wow, that's cool.
Um,
I haven't heard
yeah.
of that.
Cool.
Yeah, D3 at Sea. Go check it out. They just announced. We've got a couple other Mark Mears joining us for that one. Gabe James
Mhm.
Games is joining us for that one. And I think those are the three big ones. Those are the three people they've announced right now, but they got a whole list of people. Sponsors are coming out. It's a whole thing. So, if you need to get on a boat, I think we're going to like some really cool places.
That's really cool.
Yeah, where I'm definitely gonna have to wear SPF 90. So it's fine. Y'all can come on the cruise where Dot. That's the actual adventure. Let's see if Dot burns. So yeah, and when I'm not doing that, I'm the Twitch producer for Cobalt Press, and you can check me out on this swanky podcast that I do with the old Bubber Not here called Stitch of Fate, where we're out there being our best vamp self. We just closed out season 2 kind of, and we've got some character one shots coming out. Now's the perfect time to like pop in and catch up if you want to check it out.
I think best vamp selves is very subjective, but
I mean, I don't know. I think Bub and I are really killing our vamp lives.
People maybe really killing some people. That's it for us. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the raids, all of those tips, those corruption bars, all those subs and all that stuff. And if you guys are over there watching this on YouTube, just know that we stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday over here on twitch.tv/unmadegaming. But for now, we'll see you guys next week for more alien madness. Join us in the Discord. Join us on Patreon. Bye-bye.
Bye.